Done.
So, Becky, how useful have you found the skills that you learnt in the fundamentals of sales and service training?
I found a lot of the skills to be very useful. There's been several that I've been able to apply into situations with customers on the telephone, also via emails. So yeah, I have found a lot of them very useful. A few of them were things that you should already know, but it is good to have them reiterated to you sometimes.
And what skills particularly have you been using and applying consciously?
The burger technique is something that I focused on quite clearly because it happens a lot, especially in our division, that I have to give customers bad news. Things like lead times being delayed, kit not coming in, and a lot of our stuff is specially ordered, so sometimes there can be serious delays with that. So I found the burger technique to be very useful. Also, earn the right. Just simply because it's not something that I ever really considered that it was something that I needed to do. But yeah, I found that a very interesting concept. And also picked was something I focused on a lot as well, because I tend to speak very quickly, but quite loudly, but trying to slow that down a bit with customers so they understand what I'm saying a bit more and not kind of trying to rush through things, I found to be very useful as well.
Okay, and what aspect, when you say picked, just tell me what that is.
Pitch. I've forgotten again now. I literally looked at it about a minute ago. Inflection. What was the C? And then T with tone. Yes.
Okay. And what difference has using the skills made to your calls?
I feel that I'm able to be a bit clearer about planning my calls, most certainly. Just because previously it's sometimes quite easy to just think, I need to make a call, pick up the phone, and not actually plan through it and do it properly. But now I've made a real effort to try and plan out things that I say before calls. So I sometimes make a little note, for example, if I want to use the burger technique, or, I've written the word obviously and said, don't say obviously, and put it on my PC, because I noticed when I was talking to customers on calls, I say obviously a lot as a filler word. So I've found it useful to try and make it clear. I've got the bits on my desk as well, so stuck there so I can see and keep a reminder for myself.
Great. And what successes have you had using the skills? Because I did see one email from you, but tell me what other successes you feel you've had as a result.
Engaging with customers a bit better and building relationships with them, because sometimes with the active listening aspect, I thought it's quite important not to be doing other things. So, for example, I used to look at my PC and type emails. So I found that I've been able to build better relationships with customers and get a better understanding of what they want from me by actually turning away from my PC, sort of just sitting and turned to the back of it, looking at my not looking at my desk. So yeah, I feel like I've built up better relationships and also a better understanding of how to work out what the customer needs. Because a lot of the time they will say, I need this thing. But unless you ask a few more probing questions, they very often don't need the things that they think they need. So I've found that to be very helpful.
Okay, and have you had any comments from your customers about how things are going and any extra sales that you could say it's been easier for you to make since you've been using the skills?
I do feel that we've had, more sales. For example, a lot of my accounts are project-based, so sometimes it's quite difficult to build up the run rate business. But I have noticed since I've been applying these techniques, I have had more little run rate orders. Not huge things, but obviously just building up that business with customers that occasionally would place an order with us. And now I'm having sometimes 2-3 a week. So I have found it to be very useful in actually getting more sales just by thinking the process out a bit better.
Great. Okay. Anything else about the program that you'd like to talk about at this stage, Becky?
Well, I just would like on a personal note to say about Maddie as a trainer, who's very good at keeping it interesting for you, especially as it's quite a lot to pack in over 2 days. So keeping it lively, keeping us motivated was a difficult task, and she did really well in doing that. So I found her really, really fun, which always helps. But also, I would recommend to people to do it and to try and have an open mind, because I'm sure there's a lot of people in sales who think, I've been doing this for years, I know everything, there's a lot of people that think oh, that is simple techniques they would know, but it's quite helpful to have it re-explained to you, and it makes you think about it a little bit more. So I would sort of recommend to everyone to try it and just keep an open mind.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, Becky. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay.